Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all. Welcome to the science class of grade 7. My name is Taiba Zulfikar and I am your science teacher. Children, today is the first lecture of the class and we will study chapter number 1, the digestive system. Here you can see the title, the digestive system. But before starting the chapter, I want to introduce you with some learning objectives of this chapter. After studying this chapter, you would be able to understand various components of human digestive system, also about digestion and its importance, how various kinds of foods are digested. You can also identify some common disorders of the digestive system. So now we will study the chapter in detail. We all eat food because it provides the fundamental types of materials required to keep our bodies functioning, and we need energy to enable growth, repair, and to maintain the body temperature and to perform all the physical activities. This energy comes from the food we eat. In order to meet the energy requirements of the body, we should take a balanced diet. Now, what is meant by a balanced diet? It is the nutrition needed to fulfill all the requirements of the body. Those requirements include metabolic processes such as growth, repair, regeneration, and whatever is taking place inside the body. All the foods we eat falls into 5 basic categories of food components. There are 3 macronutrients that we eat in large quantity, which include carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And then there are 2 micronutrients that include minerals and vitamins that we eat in a very small amount. Along with these, there is roughage and water, and that is also essential part of a balanced diet. So when we say that we have taken a balanced diet, all these food types should be there. Now we will study each of these components. So we will start from the first one, that is carbohydrates. Hold a pencil in your hands to underline all the important information and to mark the questions of the exercise. So you all must have a pencil in your hand. The first food component is carbohydrate. This is a major energy source of an organism. Carbohydrates are made up of glucose subunits, which further are composed of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms in different proportions. These exist as starches and sugars. Now, what are these starches? Starches are complex carbohydrates, and they slowly and gradually release energy by the chemical breakdown of these glucose subunits inside the cells. While the sugars are simply the glucose subunits that instantly release energy into the body. 1 gram of carbohydrates give us about 4 kilocalorie of energy. Carbohydrates, they are found in wide variety of foods such as bread, beans, milk, rice, potatoes, cookies, cakes, and all the sweet items that we eat. Foods high in carbohydrates are an important part of a healthy diet because they provide us with glucose that is ultimately going to be converted into energy for the body functioning and physical activities. Now you make a question over here. What are carbohydrates and what is their role in our body? After carbohydrates, we have second food component, that is protein. It's a macromolecule. Proteins are body building foods. They are building blocks for the human body. Organs such as bones, muscles, and then hormones and enzymes, they are made up of proteins. Proteins are long chains that are made of amino acids. These subunits, they have further hydrogen and nitrogen atoms present in them. Our body needs proteins for the continual growth and development. New cells are being formed to replace and repair old and damaged cells, and also there will be some dead cells of the body. So whenever you get a cut or a wound on any area of your body, after some time new cells start to take its place, and this healing process is caused by the proteins we are eating. Sources of proteins are milk, egg, meat, chicken, fish, beans, nuts. They are good sources of proteins. And now we will make a question over here, that what are proteins and how do they help us? Similarly, there is another question from the exercise. Question number 1, that is, name the 7 groups of food that are needed for a healthy and balanced diet. So all these 7 groups, you will be writing it on your note copies, that there are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, roughage and water. Only the names are required, not the detail. The third macromolecule is fat. Fats, they are also essential part of our diet, and it is also important for the good health. Fats are stored in our body as a insulating layer under the skin. It helps actually to regulate the temperature of the body. Fats also give us energy, but this energy is doubled as compared to the energy we gain from the carbohydrates. Here you can see it's written, fats produce twice much energy per gram as carbohydrates, and about a quarter of energy we use each day comes from from the fats. Fats are made up of fatty acids and glycerol subunits, and 1 gram of fat gives us about 9 kilocalorie of energy. Sources of fats are dairy products such as butter, cream, cheese, meat, deep fried foods, cakes, sweet food items. But one thing that you should be aware of while eating fats is that fats should be taken in a very less and moderate quantity, because extra fatty acids, they get stored in our body and they can make us obese. High level of fats in the diet, they can also lead to increase in blood cholesterol level that could lead to high blood pressure and heart problems. So now we will underline this paragraph of fats. You can also highlight this information and write a question with this point, with this heading fat, that what are fats, and write their functions. Now the next food component is a mineral. Minerals are essential chemical elements that are required by the organism to perform functions of the body. They also control chemical reactions taking place in our body. Some minerals include calcium, phosphorus, iron, sodium, potassium and zinc. So I will discuss their significance. Sodium and potassium, they are needed for the fluid balance of the body, also in the nerve transmission to carry the messages around the body, and they are also important for the muscle contraction. So you can write over here. We get these sodium and potassium from the table salt, milk, bread, fruits and vegetables, and also from the meat. Then there are chlorides. They are needed to maintain the acidity of the stomach. Then we have calcium and phosphorus. These trace elements are important for the strengthening of the bones and teeth. They also help in building immune system of the body. We get calcium from the dairy products and in some of the fruits. Then there is another important mineral, which is iron, and it's a very vital part of the hemoglobin. which is found in the red blood cells, and it is actually responsible for transporting oxygen to the cells of the body for respiration process to occur. Then there is another important mineral, which is zinc. It's part of many enzymes. These tiny amounts of minerals keep our body healthy. So here you can see some of the minerals that I have discussed. They are also their important significance is mentioned over here. Now coming to vitamins. Vitamins are essential micronutrients of an organism because they are required in a very small quantity for proper functioning of the metabolism. I will discuss some important vitamins, their sources and significance, so you can make your points. First of all, we have vitamin A. We get it from carrots, milk, by eating liver, cheese and green vegetables. It helps to improve the eyesight and vision, and its deficiency can result in the night blindness and the dryness of the eyes, as well as the eyesight issues can also develop. Then we have vitamin B. We get it from grains, beans, meat, cereals, yeast and milk, and it is good for the growth and development of the body, and its deficiency in the body can result in beriberi disease. Now what is this beriberi disease? It's a disease which affects our heart and circulatory system. Then we have vitamin C, one of the very important vitamins. This is that we get from oranges, lemons, green chilies, other fruits and vegetables. It is good for the strengthening of the gums, for a healthy skin, teeth, and it also helps in the healing of wounds. Its deficiency can result in scurvy. Now what is this scurvy? It's a deficiency disease in which our gums start to bleed, and then there are issues regarding the skin which are also generated. Then we have vitamin D. Now what this vitamin D does in our body, it is also important for the strengthening of bones and teeth. We get it from fish, liver, oil, butter and egg, and its deficiency can result in twisted bones, that is called rickets. Then we have vitamin E. This vitamin we get by eating liver, meat, milk, sunlight, salad, spinach and green vegetables. It's good for the skin and it makes the red blood cells. If you will not eat vitamin E, then it can result in anemia. It's a deficiency disease in which the person will not have enough red blood cells to transport oxygen to the cells of the body. Then we have vitamin K. This vitamin we get from all the fresh vegetables and fruits, and it helps in the body in the sense that it does not let the blood to clot. So if you are not eating enough vitamin K, then the blood clotting, brain failure, blocked arteries, heart attacks, such kind of big troubles can happen to you. After these macro and micronutrients, we have roughage. This roughage, also known as fiber, we get it by eating fruits and vegetables. It is the cellulose part of the cell wall of plant cells. So when we are eating fruits, vegetables, we are eating large proportion of roughage. This roughage is not digested exactly in our body because we don't have that enzyme which digests this roughage. Then what is its function? It is important material because it helps in the passage of food and the waste products through the gut. It gives the intestine something to be pushed along, and it also produces semi-solid feces. Then there is another important function of this roughage, that it helps to retain the water level inside the body. The last but not the least is water. Water does not give us any energy, but still very important for the body because it makes solutions with all the digested and dissolved food. And all those chemical reactions will take place in those solutions. So it also regulates the water loss from the body through some processes that are taking place on regular basis like breathing, sweating and excreting. So this is all about the balanced diet, and we have learned from today's lecture that a balanced diet is required to maintain a healthy body.